Hi, my name's Dana. I play the drums in Akron Family.
Hello, my name is Miles. I play the bass in Akron Family.
I'll sleep and wake anew. I'll sleep and wake anew.
Dana and Seth grew up in central Pennsylvania. Seth being one of the other members of the band, guitar player. And they grew up knowing each other in their small town in central Pennsylvania, and at one time they played music together, and at one time they met Ryan, who was living in Ithaca when they were both kind of floating in and out of that place, upstate New York. And so they knew Ryan. Seth moved to New York City. I moved to New York City from the West Coast around the same time period. Seth and I started playing music together, and we were recording a lot of stuff at home in an apartment, and Dana came to visit, and we recorded some stuff with him, and then he just kind of moved because it all just worked really well. And then we kind of played as a three-piece for a while, and then Ryan, we went to Ithaca as a three-piece to play a show, and Ryan was playing solo, and so we were like, you need to sing in our band, because none of us really felt extremely confident singing in the group.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was just a nice moment because he played right before we did. Solo set, him and his guitar by himself, and then we played as a trio right afterwards without, minimal vocals, and put two and two together. And there you go. Talked him into moving to New York. We told him that if he quit his summer job for teaching in the Catskills, that Seth would not go to college, and that we would, shack up in a loft in Brooklyn and do music. And it worked.
The world of our lives rising got us little transparent old man. We struggle to stand. But I think our time to run down.
Yeah, 2 years ago this time, this would have been, I guess, have we met Gira 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I guess we'd met Gira 2 years ago. No, we didn't meet Gira.
No, a year and a half.
Yeah, so 2.5 years ago this time, we were in complete madness rehearsal space mode, and we were playing constantly and just like we'd done some recording at home still, but we were playing a lot live in the rehearsal space by ourselves and like improvising constantly, and like we'd have big long 4-hour no stop kind of rehearsals. So that was what we were doing, and just kind of like, I mean, we really just kind of, there was a long process of discovering each other musically, and you know, like starting to form those relationships, as well as kind of like, you know, it's like a really major relationship with three other people. So we were kind of like, you know, arguing, being tense with each other, playing a lot of music. That was pretty much what we were doing.
I was working at a coffee. Oh no, I was waiting tables.
I was working in a coffee shop. Seth worked in a coffee shop. Ryan was working
in a juice bar.
In a juice bar.
In New York City.
Yeah. Gira doesn't like to go to shows that much, and he made that clear when we wrote him before. Seth sent him a letter, and because his website was a little foreboding, and you know, like we recorded a lot of stuff at home. We recorded like a good amount of stuff at home, and we kind of like culled a little bit of that stuff, and we sent that to like 30 or 40. You know, we sent a stack of those out, got some of them back, got, you know, minimal response from people.
We definitely got the nice postcard from Merge Records. It says, "Thanks, we got your CD. Unfortunately, we have our hands full. Keep it up." Something along those lines.
I don't even know if it says "keep it up," dude.
It doesn't even say "keep it up." Does
Merge
it?
Merge doesn't give a flying hoot.
But it's nice that they sent something to you to let you know that they got it.
That's cool. I mean, it's cool. Nice. It's nice. I mean, Gira, but basically we sent some of that stuff out, but then with Gira, we didn't actually send them in those initial ones. And Seth had seen Devendra and was like, "This label is, you know, it's like kind of weird," and like I was like, "Oh, it's Michael Gira from Swans," and I was the only one out of all of us, I think, that really like had known Swans, and I would never have thought that he was like producing folk music or anything like Devendra. I didn't think that would be his style, but just judging on the limited knowledge I had of him from, you know, back in his 70s and 80s stuff, and so yeah, Seth sent him a letter. He responded and was like, "Yeah, sure, send me some music," because his website's really foreboding. It's like, "Don't send any unsolicited material," because, I mean, he's kind of, you know, it's like he kind of keeps himself out of the picture a little bit as like a personality in some ways, you know, which is cool. So anyway, we sent him a letter. He said send some music. We started sending him stuff. And he was like, "This is really great," and he was really nurturing and really like responded and was very like took his time with it. And we just kept sending him stuff and sending him stuff and sending him stuff. And finally, like after like the 4th CD that we sent him, he was like, I guess what he says is that he realized how busy he was with himself and mostly with Devendra, and like had like a quick break and was like, "What the hell am I doing? I need to call these guys." So he agreed to come and see us, and we played in this little tiny room called Pete's Candy Store. And I remember distinctly we're sitting on stage, and it's really dark and very thin. It's a really cool room. It's got these like little lights around the stage, and it's like we're really hunkered in there.
It's like an old caboose.
Yeah, it's like a dining car or something like that. It's like a really like tiny little place. And I remember distinctly looking to the very back of the room where everybody's packed in, and I see the hat, the classic Gira hat, and I was like, "Oh shit, Michael's here," you know. And I kind of like tried to like kind of nudge somebody because I was so freaked out. And then he, you know, it's like we played, and I thought I could hear him like hooting and hollering, you know.
No, you definitely heard him hooting.
Yeah, I know, but it's like I was so
like, you know,
freaked out, you know.
It's like 20 feet long, you know. It's like you can, the guy's standing right back there. You can hear him going, "Woo, yeah," you know, like it's cute.
Yeah. So anyway,
Encouraging.
He came up afterwards and was just like real boisterous and jovial, and my name's Michael Gira. It's really great to meet you. You know, I really wanna come see you guys again. He came to Stacie a couple more times and was like, I just think I need to make records with you guys. Just like, you know, he doesn't seem to like hedge his bets. He's pretty straight on. He knows what he wants and he does it, you know. So it's cool. Michael's music is a challenge for me as a musician, personally, because it requires me to really. It's taught me actually how to really like focus on just working very clearly on a song, and devoting myself in a non-personal but very intimate way to it. So that's like that was a really cool thing about it. So I feel like in some ways he definitely he sees good musicians and he's like, well, this is a good way to get people to work on my stuff. But also, I mean, as a band, it gets us in front of people because like his audience comes to see him and we're there. I mean, like, so we play first, he plays. It's great, you know. So it's like it's good and it works. I mean, from that like kind of coarse business perspective, but he has people on his label that he feels are really talented musicians, and so it just kind of seems natural that he would have a way, since it's such a small operation, he's an artist himself, to do that. I mean, plus he kind of has taken a real mentor sort of approach with us, which I think is absolutely phenomenal, and it's a great gift. He's just like a really generous person with that. So that's kind of how I see it. It's like it is a step in that way, like an educational step. So.
Piece cake. I suppose we're coming from a place where we had a lot of material to work with. We kind of like sifted through a lot of that to put out a first record, right? We worked on Michael's record after that. That wasn't us. I mean, it was a chance to kind of plan an album, which was nice. Good experience recording in the studio. That was awesome. And then we had the split album that just came out, which was developed more as a group as we were getting to know each other musically and developing a sort of communication between the four of us, which was good. And
It's kind of older.
It's
the stuff on the
older.
split's definitely older. Outside of like Raising the Sparks and
which was kind of just like thrown together, but like not thrown together, but like one of the newer pieces of material that we had. But yeah. Did you have something to say?
Oh, sure. Whenever you're done. I was just listening to you answer.
Okay. As far as the next track is concerned, I think that it's, I don't know, I feel we've gotten ourselves to a level as to where we can just proceed to move forward as opposed to kind of like, bring back things that we've already done. Because, I mean, it's not like, I don't know, I think that, it's kind of happened. So I think we're happy with leaving it there and just kind of working on new things because we all have new ideas. We all just definitely want to proceed to go in that direction. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think, there's definitely like the process. There's different processes that we use to come up with things. Seth and Ryan have more of a traditional songwriting approach and are able to like very prolific, super hyper prolific actually. So they have a lot of material that they can pull from. And then we also all like to play as a group. And we had like a home recording kind of thing that was going on that we pulled a lot of stuff from. So some of that's kind of like, I think, a merging of the two processes between like the home recording, which is like kind of like minimal acoustic based, and then like learning how to like record at home with like full group and stuff like that. Should be like a good. There'll be a lot of. There's always stuff. Like we can sit and noodle for hours and hours and hours and have hours and hours of source material to pull from. I definitely like the way that like albums like Anthem of the Sun or like Tago Mago are like have these kind of like spliced in sort of like you're totally in this super groove and then all of a sudden like a train comes and whacks it and it's like something new. So I think we'll probably try to have another well of stuff that's kind of there to pull from the same way we did before, but that's just not the same stuff. Not that I hate this music, but I'm definitely ready for some new stuff too, as Dana said.
in April. We did 5.5, 6 weeks in the States. We went out for 4 shows in Europe, came back, had some time off, recorded a record, stayed in New York at the time. Then we left again in August to do, or rather a week in July, leave again in August to do 5 weeks in America, 7 weeks in Europe. It's like, it keeps us so busy that I actually gave up my apartment in New York, so I just kind of couch surf at the moment and live mostly out of a van, which is very comfortable in a weird way. I kind of like it.
We got a '94 Dodge we live in. I have a couch that's shoved underneath my friend's big platform bed in New York that we call the Miles Hole. So I live in the Miles Hole. Yeah. Thing that is good and bad about, for me, conceptually, about digital music and the loss of the record album is that I can take the record album out of the sort of art object realm, which in some ways turns it into this sort of precious kind of like unattainable type of thing where like and it becomes so personal and hyper personal that it can end up almost like carrying too much weight, instead of like actually being something that's accessible in a deep way. At the same time, like, you know, you can go too far into the digital realm and it becomes just information that people just process the same way that they process television. So I can totally like see both sides, because on one hand, the fact that our music is digitally available means that it's like, I mean, if 5,000 people bought our record, I'm sure at least 5,000 people have downloaded it for free. So 10,000 people heard our record instead of 5. Like somebody in Japan wrote us. They said, we heard your stuff. I mean, there's just it's available in a way that it never was. Like, I don't know how it was possible for like hardcore bands in the early days to like be able to tour and do all this stuff without this kind of like grassroots sort of level playing field that's been achieved by the internet. So there's pluses and minuses. I mean, I want to be really like traditional and be like, fuck that guy, but at the same time, I mean, it's a pretty fantastic thing to be able to like reach everybody everywhere at the same time. I mean, it could just be the extension of the collective unconscious, just like the wheel is the extension of the foot. Who knows? To participate in technology is incredible. All right. lights of love and space. I'm so excited. I played in hardcore bands for a few years and was really into that. And I was a singer in hardcore bands, crowd surf, just go nuts, get bloody, go nuts.
Love that shit.
And like now, Akron Family has completely, I feel like, gotten in touch with our inner freak out in a way that we hadn't before.
I mean, we were so categorized as like this kind of, hippie, freak folk band that, you want to go down and see, and you would never expect them to crowd surf. But then, lo and behold, at Bard College, it happened. And you know what? It's a beautiful thing.
Yep. Ryan was jumping up and down on the amps. I knocked my equipment over several times. Amp pumping occurred in the first 5 minutes of the show. People were freaking out and started moshing and throwing beer cans everywhere. And
people mosh.
I fell and people picked me up and they tossed me over the back.
People
and I was
mosh.
And I was surfing in a fucking mosh pit at an Akron Family show.
People mosh.
Bard College, you rule. Bard College, you rule. It's awesome. Upstate. That's what's next. Little Forest Green.
Little Forest Green.
We're gonna have a house upstate. It's called Little Forest Green.
But what?
It's the opposite of Little Big Pink.
Okay.
They're gonna fight. They're gonna win.
Okay, you could have left that to the.
I don't know. They don't know.
They can figure things out. You can figure things out, can't you?
It's a mirror image. It's a mirror image.
Oh no.
See yourself. That's fine.
I shaved today. So this beard is new too, by the way. I'm the guy that's usually clean shaven.
He doesn't have a beard.
I never. Well, I mean, every now and again I'll grow a beard, but most often.
And this is my bass player hat. I feel like our music is pretty concise. I feel like our music is way inside, actually. And like when we play live, we definitely go to the jam realm. But even that's pretty inside.
Well, it's not really. It gets out. It gets out, man. It's
Kind
just
of.
No, it gets out. It's just
We're always searching for the groove, though, dude.
Well, the past few nights we have been.
Always searching for the groove.
The past few nights we've been searching for the groove, but like I love it, dude. I dig the groove.
We
I like finding.
You're talking to the rhythm section, so. But we always it ends up going to. We end up going to the super. I mean, all of us love. We love playing like rock and roll music. Like,
Totally.
It's so funny. Like it turns into that thing where it's like, we're totally like in noise land, and I want to go to total noise land because I love noise, and I'll be just there, and I'll be completely lost in the noise. And then at some point it just changes, and it's time to riff, and we want to play Jimi Hendrix covers.
Think about Zeppelin. The riff. They catch it. It's a good catch.
It's true.
I think our love is if you have to stay, call me on the water, catching the next wave.
We play with context a lot.
We play with context a lot.
That's definitely
Yeah,
an Akron Family.
it's true. We don't necessarily come back. I mean, we'll go and just kind of stay,
Yeah, we
and then keep going.
I think as time has rolled on, we've gotten the opportunity to play longer shows, and we're definitely like a 2.5 hour. 2.5 hours is like that's when we get a chance to really stretch out. So like about hour 2 is when it gets to like Vision Quest land. and we're out in the crowd, and I don't have a shirt on, and I got no shoes on, and I have like a little rattle, and everybody's dancing around, the whole crowd singing. That's when it becomes like that's the pinnacle Akron Family show. But you know, you play in New York City, you play other places, you open for some big bands, like
big bands. You get
30 minutes,
yeah, you're
and you're
allowed
like,
to,
you just blow it. You just go as hard as you can and make really concise ideas that are able to be conveyed very clearly, because stretching out doesn't really. People aren't with you there to go on the vision quest. They just want to get a real quick idea of like something that they can like catch on to. So it's interesting because I definitely think I think that's part of the deal is that like you have someone like Gira who really hears a song and helps. He's an amazing producer, totally dynamite, but definitely likes things to be sort of like very clear. And so he's really helped us to clarify that stuff. So then it's awesome because then when we play live, we're able to like be as unclear as we feel like we want to be. And it always has something that makes sense and has a context. What's going on in there?
Nothing. Them? Who knows?
I think we need to go back and sound check.
We should go back and sound check.
Thank you. That's weird with this thing.
It was neat, wasn't it?
Stand alone and happy, sad and found yourself to be a foe to call everyone you've ever known to say that you have finally found what you're looking for, what you're looking for. Found what you're looking for, what you're looking for. Found what you're looking for, what you're looking for. Found what you're looking for. Family.